We're taught to hold on, push through, see it out. Don't give up. That's where character is supposed to live. And often, it is. But there's a second skill almost nobody teaches, and it matters just as much: knowing when to walk away. This is a book about that skill, and why we're all so bad at it. Quit by Annie Duke. Duke spent years as a professional poker player before becoming a decision scientist. So she thinks for a living about choosing well when you can't see the whole board. Her argument is simple and a little uncomfortable. We treat quitting as failure when really it's a skill. Knowing when to walk away, she says, is every bit as valuable as knowing when to stick. Most of us are good at one and hopeless at the other. We're raised on grit. Never give up. Winners never quit. And grit is real. It finishes hard things. But Duke gently points at grit's shadow. The same stubbornness that carries you through a rough patch can keep you somewhere long after it stopped being worth it. Grit without an exit isn't discipline. It's just being stuck with better branding. The first reason we stay too long is sunk cost. We don't judge a thing by what it'll give us from here. We judge it by what we've already poured in: the years in a career, the work on a project, the money already spent. Duke's point is quietly radical. None of that should count. What's gone is gone. The only honest question is, what happens next? But the more we've sunk, the harder we dig. And that isn't commitment, it's escalation. If you trade, you'll know this, one in your bones. So when should you go? Here's the line worth keeping. Quitting on time will usually feel like quitting too early. By the moment it's obvious you should have walked, the cost is mostly paid. Good quitting almost always feels premature, like you left before the story finished. The trick is to judge where you are now looking forward, not from where you started. If you wouldn't choose to begin this today, knowing what you now know, why are you still in it? Her most practical gift is the idea of kill criteria. Decide in advance, while you're calm, before anything's on the line, the exact conditions that would tell you to stop. A line you won't cross, a date, a sign the whole idea was wrong. Set it when you're cool, because you won't think clearly when you're in it. She pairs this with a lovely image from the world of moonshots, monkeys and pedestals. If your plan is to get a monkey to recite Shakespeare on a pedestal, don't build the pedestal first. That's the easy, comforting busywork. Test the hard thing first. Can the monkey be trained at all? Do the scary test early, so you can walk away cheaply if the answer's no. There's a deeper reason we cling, though. And it isn't logic, it's identity. We don't just have the job, the project, the plan. We become the person who chose it. Walking away can feel like admitting something about who we are. That's how a small loss becomes a crusade. Duke's antidote is the outside view. Someone or something that sees your situation without your story wrapped around it and gives you permission to fold. A friend who will be honest. A rule you set in advance. Anything that isn't your ego on a bad afternoon. Now, honestly, it isn't a perfect book. Duke makes her case through a lot of stories, and if you read quickly, you'll feel the same few points come around again and again. It could be tighter, and the message is easy to have here. Quit more is only one side of it. She's careful that grit still matters, that the real skill is calibration, knowing which is which. Read carelessly, it could become an excuse to drop anything that gets hard, which is its own kind of failure. It's also far better at telling you why to walk away than at the genuinely hard part, doing it in the moment when it hurts. So who's it for? Anyone who's stayed too long in a job, a project, a plan, and felt that pull to just get back to where they started before letting go. The takeaways are small and portable. What you've already spent is gone. Decide from here. If leaving feels a little early, it's probably right on time. Decide your exit before you begin, while you're calm, and find one outside view you trust more than your own pride. None of this makes walking away feel good. It probably never will. But Duke leaves you with a reframe worth carrying. Quitting isn't the moment you failed. Done well, at the right time, it might be one of the wisest things you do all year. That's it from me. This channel's a slow, steady place for exactly this kind of thing. Good books, a few honest thoughts, and a bit of calm. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.